everybody. Let's get this party started. The news. I'm leading the news. I'm kind of doing this a little backwards. Today's Wednesday. This will come out Friday. I'm doing this a little bit backwards because there's some new news that actually came out yesterday when I got it. Maybe it was 2 days ago. But anyway, I'm gonna start with it because it's rather important. It goes to the different videos that I've talked about 100 times. And I don't know. I sometimes think I'm wasting my time here with all this information, and then these things happen over and over again. Here we go. The news today does not look good. I'm just warning you right now. If you're the kind of person that just can't stand listening to bad news, then why do you watch Fox? That's number one. Or CNN. That's number two. Then you probably need to move on to another channel. A villager was killed in a golf cart crash at the Wildwood Bridge. Gregory Joseph Ebert, 57, of the village of Monarch Grove, was driving a green 2021 Yamaha golf cart at 10:30 p.m. Saturday southbound at the golf cart bridge located at State Road 44 and Magasin Road when he appeared to have struck the curb located on the left side of the bridge, according to an accident report from the Wildwood Police Department. After striking the curb, the golf cart struck the guardrail on the left side of the bridge. After hitting the guardrail, Ebert was ejected from the golf cart, which overturned and landed on top of him. When officers arrived on the scene, the golf cart was lying on Ebert's neck, the report said. Ebert was unresponsive and was pronounced dead at the scene by EMS personnel. The golf cart was towed from the scene by Wildwood Auto. The report indicated the golf cart had been traveling at an estimated speed of 20 miles per hour. That's legal. In an area when the recommended speed is 5 miles an hour, recommended speed. Now, I was just over that bridge the other day with WrestleMania. I could be wrong. I'll have to go back and check that video, and I'll go down and I'll check the bridge itself. I don't recall ever seeing a speed limit sign anywhere down there saying recommended speed 5 miles an hour. So when they say recommended speed, where does a person get this information? But nevertheless, common sense goes a long way to how fast you should be driving. You drive within your comfort level. This goes back to an old truckers thing from many years ago. When you're in mountains, ice, snow, whatever, you drive within your comfort level. I'm not saying this guy didn't, and I'm so sorry about this happening, and I feel terrible about his wife and the kids and everything that this happened. I've said it again, time and time again, and I'm not saying it for my health. I'm saying it because I don't want anybody to get hurt. You got to be careful in these golf carts. You have to be careful of the tourists and the grandmas and grandpas that let their 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid take off in a golf cart, unfamiliar with the territory here, unfamiliar with golf cart rules. I'm so sorry for these people. The Wildwood Bridge opened in December. Shortly before the bridge opened, the Community Development District 13 Board of Supervisors voted to take over ownership from the developer. Be careful. Here's report number 2. A drunk driving suspect was arrested after a single vehicle crash in a roundabout near the village of Finney. When the investigating officer arrived on the scene of the crash late Sunday night at the roundabout at Warm Springs Avenue and Finney Way, 28-year-old I don't even know how to pronounce this name. It's a foreign name. I'll say Wosud Giovanni Narvaez Malandonado of Ocala was stumbling around and excitedly taking pictures of each of the first responders on the scene. The native of Puerto Rico also attempted to walk back to his vehicle but slipped and fell in the middle of the road. He was transported by ambulance for a medical evaluation at the UF Health, the village's Wildwood ER. Remember, we did a golf cart ride and we parked in a golf cart parking only area with WrestleMania in the golf cart ride, and I was showing him around, and it was right behind the emergency area right there that I pointed out. This is the ER they're talking about. As he was being checked out, a nurse discovered glass shards in his hair where he had apparently hit and damaged the windshield. He refused to submit a breathalyzer test. Mr. Malandonado, sorry, not really, was arrested on a charge of driving under the influence and booked at the Sumter County Detention Center. He was released after posting a $1,000 bond. Cool. Remember I told you that rental property down here can be a way to go to get started owning property in the villages as an investment and a place to hang your hat. That's what I did. That's what a lot of people do. Absolutely nothing wrong with it, and in a lot of ways it makes a lot of sense to do that. Price of property is going up and keeps going up, and people keep saying, well, we're waiting for the price to come down. Do you know that they are? Do you not know that the prices may continue to go up for the next 5 years? I don't know that. How do you know that? People make these statements all the time, and they don't know. They're just guessing. They're hoping. It is what it is, and remember, when you retire, you're on limited time anyway. Man tracked down in Oregon after fleeing a rented home in the villages. But if you're going to rent your house out, pay attention who you're renting to. And if you turn your house over to a house management company, give them a strict record of things that you will and will not accept in your house and things that they must do. If for some reason they hem-haw around about it because they're looking for the easy buck, move on to somebody else. You don't want them people taking care of your property anyway. You don't have to rent your house out to a felon. You don't have to rent your house out to somebody that's been convicted of sexual assault on a child or something. You don't. There's no such thing as discrimination against a criminal. Whoever tells you this stuff is a line of crap. I owned one. I know what I did when I do background checks on them, and I refused to rent it to them for specific things. And there's nothing they can do about it. So it's because it's all public knowledge. So pay attention who you're renting to, and quit looking for that easy buck by going to a home management company. And they rent it out to anybody. They don't care because they don't live here, and they'll put a felon next door to you, and they'll put a sexual assault guy, a child molester, next door to you. You want that? I don't. A father sought in a child custody battle was tracked down in Oregon after fleeing a rented home in the villages. Daniel William York, 44, has been living on Weeping Willow Avenue in the village of Silver Lake on the historic side of the villages. That's the oldest village, I believe, in all of the villages is Silver Lake. I could be wrong about that, but somebody told me that a long time ago, and I never forgot it. Because when you read the history, it seemed like to me that Orange Blossom Gardens was the first village built. He was booked last week at the Lake County Jail on a felony charge of interference with child custody. The children, ages 5 and 7, were dropped off by their mother May 29th with York. She was scheduled to pick them up May 31st, according to the affidavit of probable cause on file in Lake County Court. He removed a Washington state license plate from the vehicle in which he had been registered and attached it to an unregistered silver van. Law enforcement checked with the landlord of the home on Weeping Willow Avenue, and it appeared to have been abandoned. He was later apprehended in Coos County, Oregon, and returned to Lake County. He has been released on a $2,000 bond. So you went that far to catch him just to release him on a $2,000 bond? Sometimes I just don't get it. I read a couple of little things that doesn't really have a whole lot to do with the villages. One kind of does, but really doesn't. Just to give you an idea what goes on the outskirts of the villages, these are towns that kind of butts right up against our property. And these are towns of people that in their cars and things, bicycles, they come right through the villages all the time, like our golf cart trails. There's nothing to keep anybody out of here on a bicycle. They just ride their bicycle over here, get on a golf cart trail, and just ride around everywhere. Nobody checks IDs, nobody checks anything. And they can say, well, the streets are open to the public. Our golf cart trails ain't. Now, if that trail's on a public highway, then yes. But once you come off that public highway and get on a private trail, it didn't belong to the public. These are things that happen here all the time. You kind of get used to it, but then you kind of don't. It just kind of irritates you all the time to see these things. I saw a couple of kids the other day riding a skateboard up and down our golf cart trail going to Brownwood. Strictly prohibited. Strictly prohibited. No roller skating, no skateboards, none of that stuff is supposed to be on the golf cart trails. It's in the deed restrictions, and you see it every now and then. So you know it's either somebody visiting and the grandkids are just playing, so a lot of us just ignore it, or it's somebody that doesn't even live here and they just walk over here and they just do what they want to do. Lake Sumter apartment home dweller jailed after traffic stop by Lady Lake police. She had a suspended license and she was considered a habitual traffic offender, and so they arrested her. Happens here all the time, and I'm not exaggerating. Lady Lake woman arrested after methamphetamine found in her purse. Another one. a letter to the editor real quick. This is about deed restrictions and complaints. How long is this? I like reading things that could affect you personally as a property owner here. It's not too bad. A little long, but not too bad. It says, to the editor, I would like to address the article in the Village's News on August 9, 2021 regarding deed compliance complaints. My thinking is via this open letter to our district government. There surely must be a better way to address the ongoing matter of reported violations of community standards. It appears that the Department of Community Standards becomes involved in nearly every report of standards violation, which often results in the public exposure of our internal disagreements. The residents of our community should have some say in the significance, common sense, and reasonableness of reports received prior to official action being taken. Some reports are significant and important, but some pertain to common but unreported situations throughout the immediate neighborhood, resulting in a ridiculous waste of department's time and expense, not to mention the ugly public relations. To that end, I suggest the establishment of volunteer advisory panels, one from each district, which would review complaints pertaining to their district. This review would not include reports requiring immediate investigation, but certain reports would be placed in a pending file prior to community standards becoming involved until due cause is established. Some revision to the age-old process is clearly needed, and that was sent in by Lee Gilpin, Village of Liberty Park. Well, Lee, that was very well worded. I appreciate your comment here. Forming a project-wide advisory committee 2 could be an expensive proposition for residents living south of State Road 44 in the Villages. Members of the original Project-Wide Advisory Committee, which currently includes representation from Community Development Districts 5 through 12. South of County Road 466 got their first look Monday morning at the estimated cost of breaking off the CDD south of State Road 44. For CDDs 5 through 11, it would be an annual savings of 12%. PWAC Chairman Don Wiley, who also serves as chairman of the CDD 10 Board of Supervisors, noted it would represent a savings of $242,363 in his district. When I saw these numbers, I was shocked, Wiley said. He pointed out that the savings that would be realized in his district could offset an 8% increase his board approved earlier this year. Isn't that weird? This reminds me of like Social Security and Medicare. Oh, we got an 8% raise in Social Security, and then Medicare sends you things, hey, oh, we're going to raise your Medicare cost 8%. You get nothing. This is pretty compelling for my district. We were already on board, but this puts us over the top. However, a chart provided by Budget Director Barbara Keys showed that breaking off PWAC 2 would necessitate a 41% increase in cost for CDD 12s and 13. You can see the chart at this link. It would mean hundreds of dollars more that will be paid by each homeowner south of State Road 44. However, as the number of homes increases, the amount paid would likely decline. You know, it may likely decline, but do you think they're going to lower your cost of things? Think about that. Do you actually think it's going to lower your cost of things? Don Wiley has already said it's going to save us $243,000 or whatever the case may be. Okay, that's great if we break off. That's great. Do you think that you'll see our amenity fees and things like that go down because of this? I doubt it. They'll just figure out what they can do with that money and spend it somewhere else. If I was in District 12, I would be in favor of this until there were more rooftops down there, PWAC member Gerald Ferlissi said. In fact, it was CDD 12 Supervisor Andrew Berliardelio, good Lord, Andrew B., that's what we'll call him, Andrew B., who suggests forming PWAC 2, which would cost his district an extra $688,048 in the first year. The CDD 12 and CDD 13 boards will meet later this week and have an opportunity to discuss the topic. So if you're interested in buying a home south of 44, and you all know what's down there, nothing wrong with the area. Beautiful home, beautiful area, and all this and that. Just know, a year from now, or whenever, if we break off, and your stuff down there starts going up in price, and you all start getting on Facebook, typing in there about how you're getting ripped off, and this isn't right, and we're getting screwed over, you're being warned now that this may happen. It may not, but it may. Just know this, that's all I'm saying. By the way, for my regular followers, beer of the day. Is it showing up okay? Yingling Lager. I still got some more of the Oktoberfest in there. I really like it. But I also got a case of this. Hot and humid. I'm on the lanai. Fans are gone. The lanai is wide open. I got all the sliding doors pulled back. There is a breeze going through here, but it's a 90-degree breeze. What can I tell you? It's 90 something outside, 95, 96, probably like a 75 or 80% humidity. Looks like the clouds are building up for an afternoon shower, which is normal. The showers are getting less and less though right now because we're starting to turn into our fall type weather. A little bit at a time we're turning into that. And you know that when it doesn't rain every day. Well, my yard guy mowed today and there wasn't no water anywhere. He hasn't been able to mow around here for over a month regularly because of all the water. Somebody asked me, how much do you pay for somebody to mow your yard? My yard, and I don't know how many square feet it is, so don't ask, it's a small yard. It's $40 a month, and that includes edging because my district requires that in the district rules. Masks will not be required at recreation facilities in the villages. That's all I want to say. Wildwood annexes Freedom Fellowship property as Congregation eager to start building. I think it's a church over there, and they're trying to hurry and they want to get construction started, and it's a process they got to go through. Apparently Wildwood has to annex it or something. I don't know. Here we go. A man driving a golf cart on US 301 was arrested after drinking at Brownwood Paddock Square. Gerard Gorges Provencher, 76 of Summerfield, was driving a red Yamaha cart in the wee hours Saturday morning, northbound on US 301 when he was pulled over by a Wildwood police officer. Good Lord. 301's a highway. Parts of 301's 55 miles an hour, and he's out there in a golf cart. These are the things I'm talking about. Provencher said he had been at the town square in Brownwood, according to the arrest report. Well, he told the truth. I've had a few drinks. I'm sure the cop said, no kidding. There were 2 unopened Michelob Ultra beer cans in the golf cart, as well as an unopened Michelob Ultra beer bottle. All were cold to the touch. He struggled and swayed during the field sobriety exercises. He had trouble blowing into the breathalyzer, got angry, and demanded a lawyer. He was arrested on a charge of driving under the influence and refusal to submit a breath test. He was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center and released after posting a $2,500 bond. I told you the news was ugly today. A visitor was arrested on a drunk driving charge after getting lost in a golf cart in the villages. James Stevens, 47, of Durham, North Carolina, was driving a golf cart shortly before 10 p.m. Friday on the multimodal path in the vicinity of Morse Boulevard at Odell Circle when a Sumter County Sheriff's deputy noticed the golf cart's headlights weren't turned on. I can't believe I forgot this one here. I'm pretty sure that I cut it when I was out on the lanai doing the news update, or some of the news update. And then when I was editing, I noticed, where's the story about the jewelry store in Brownwood getting broken into? And I know I did it, but it's gone. I don't know where it's at. I don't know what happened to it. Somebody must have stole it. No. Thieves use sledgehammer to break into a Brownwood jewelry store. See, don't leave the keys in your golf cart. Don't leave your purse in the golf cart. Don't leave something in the basket in the back of the golf cart and go park it somewhere and go walking around. This is not the retirement community that a lot of people thinks it is. And I got my doubts that it's actually a retirement community anymore. Elderly people do live here a lot. It's called a 55 plus. 3 thieves are being sought after. They used a sledgehammer to break through a door at the jewelry store in the villages. The burglary occurred at about 2 a.m. July 30 at the Brownwood Jewelers at 2696 Torch Lake Drive. Located near the City Fire restaurant. City Fire's down there on the corner. It's a very popular place. At Brownwood Paddock Square. Once inside, the suspects used a sledgehammer to smash several jewelry cases, according to the Wildwood Police Department. One of the suspects filled a black trash bag with an unknown amount of jewelry before fleeing the scene in a possible Infiniti Q50. Police have released the following description of the suspects. Suspect 1, a tall, skinny, dark-skinned male wearing a black face mask, gray hoodie, white joggers, black sneakers, and utility gloves. Suspect 2, a skinny, dark-skinned male wearing glasses, black face mask, black hoodie, black track pants, gray sneakers, and utility gloves. Suspect 3, a heavy-set, dark-skinned male wearing a black ski mask, black jacket, black pants, black sneakers, and blue utility gloves. If you have any information regarding the identity of these suspects, contact Detective Clarkson at 352-661-6908. So, sorry I admitted that. I've got to go back and re-edit and get this one put in the Village's News somewhere to kind of make sense. Thus, the changes of some things that you might see in the background, whatever, because of me losing it somewhere. I don't know where it's at. So with that being said, let's get out of here and enjoy the rest of the news. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to get out of here. I'm also going to make another video. I got an interesting story that came out in the Village's Property Owners Association paper today. I'm going to try to read it. I'm not the best reader. I'll apologize now, but I'm going to try to read it the best that I can for you and try to make sense of it so you guys can get an idea of what's happening at the Property Owners Association and what their fights are. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you on, I'm going to take another video too. I don't know when. I got tons of questions for Sue and Deb. Thanks everybody. Tons of them. Now I got to get together with both of them to, get this thing done. And for those of you that's on this channel and you're also subscribed to my RV channel, thanks. I appreciate all that. And to all the Patreon members and all my YouTube members that helps out a little bit, you guys are the best. I really appreciate it. I truly do. That being said, I'm going to get out of here. See you all on the other side.